All right, and that was CeeLo. All right, guys, I've been telling you here, this is the Atheist Agenda. We're discussing Christmas, the history of Christmas, and if you hadn't gotten it so far, please rewind it. You know, there's a lot of dates, there's a lot of things in there, there's a lot of stuff going on. And also got to remember, we do have a chat room. If you get in there and you click on the chat room, you can get right in. You can ask me questions, and in between me ranting and raving, I'll be more than happy to answer you about Christmas or Christianity or whatever you want to talk about. The main thing that we want to talk about is we're talking about the history of Christmas. You can please give me an email if you have any questions or anything like that at atheistagenda@live.com. And I'll be sure to answer each and every one of them. And usually with our normal shows, I usually read 5 or 10 of them or something like that and respond to them on air. And if not, I do respond by email to each and every one of you. Now, let's see, where were we? We got to the origin of Santa Claus. And I'm looking at all my stuff here. And let's see. Oh, yes. We got to where the Nicholas cult spread north until it was adopted by German and Celtic pagans. These groups worshipped a pantheon led by Woden, their chief god and the father of Thor. And I know that I did this, and I know that I talked to you about it. Woden had a long white beard and rode a horse through the heavens one evening each autumn. When Nicholas merged with Woden, he shared his Mediterranean appearance, grew a beard, mounted a flying fucking horse, and rescheduled his flight for December and donned heavy winter clothing. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Now, in a bid for pagan adherents in Northern Europe, the Catholic Church adopted the Nicholas cult and taught that he did, and they should, distribute gifts on December 25th instead of December 6th, whenever St. Nicholas actually died. In 1809, the novelist Washington Irving, most famous for his, legendary Legend of Sleepy Hollow and Rip Van Winkle, wrote a satire of Dutch culture entitled Knickerbocker History. The satire refers several times to the white-bearded, flying bucking horse riding St. Nicholas, using his Dutch name, Santa Claus. Dr. Clement Moore, a professor at Union Seminary, read Knickerbocker History, and in 1822 he published a poem based on the character Santa Claus. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. Moore innovated it by portraying a Santa with 8 reindeer who descended through chimneys. The Bavarian illustrator Thomas Nast, however, almost completed the modern picture of Santa Claus. From 1862 through 1886, based on Moore's poem, Nast drew more than 2,200 cartoon images of Santas for Harper's Weekly. Before Nast, St. Nicholas had been pictured as everything from a stern-looking bishop to a gnome-like figure in a frock. Nast also gave Santa a home at the North Pole. His workshop filled with elves, and his list of the good and bad children of the world. All Santa was missing was his red outfit. Now, in 1931, the Coca-Cola Corporation contacted the Swedish commercial artist Haddon Sundblom to create a Coke-drinking Santa. Sundblom modeled his Santa on his friend Lou Prentice, chosen for his cheerful, chubby face. The corporation insisted that Santa's fur-trimmed suit be bright, Coca-Cola red, and Santa was born. A blend of Christian crusader, pagan god, and a commercial idol. So congratulations, enjoy fucking Santa Claus. That's your thing. Now, the Christmas challenge. This is very interesting. Christmas has always been a holiday celebrated carelessly for millennia. Pagans, Christians, and even Jews have been swept away in the season's festivities, and very few people ever pause to consider the celebration's intrinsic meaning, history, or origins. Christmas celebrates the birth of the Christian God who came to rescue mankind from the curse of the Torah. It is a 24-hour declaration that Judaism is no longer valid. Christmas is a fucking lie. There is no Christian church with a tradition that Jesus was really born on December 25th. December 25th is a day in which Jews have been shunned, shamed, tortured, and murdered. Many of the most popular Christmas customs, including Christmas trees, mistletoes, Christmas presents, and Santa Claus, are modern incarnations of the most depraved pagan. So, let's put the Christ back into Christmas, my fucking ass. That's what that's the basis for your holiday. Many who are excitedly preparing for their Christmas celebrations would prefer not knowing about the holiday's real significance. That's why there's a lot of people. I have somewhere in the neighborhood between 3 platforms, like I said, between 2,500 and 4,000 listeners. If celebrated Adolf feasting, drunkenness, gift giving, and celebrate Hitler Day. April 20th arrived. They had forgotten about Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen. They never heard of gas chambers or death machines. They had purchased champagne and caviar and were about to begin the party when someone reminded them of the day's real history and their ancestors' agony. Imagine that. They initially objected. We aren't celebrating the Holocaust. We're just having a little Hitler Day party. If you could travel in time and meet them, if you could say a few words to them, what would you advise them to do on Hitler Day? It's exactly the same fucking thing. And if you're just tuning in now, why don't you look? Why don't you look at it for yourself? Don't take my word for it. Find the real history of Christmas. The real history of Christmas is deplorable. It has nothing to do with Jesus' birthday. On December 25th, 1941, Julius Streicher, one of the most vicious of Hitler's assistants, celebrated Christmas by pitting the following editorial in his rabidly anti-Semitic newspaper, Die Stimme. If one really wants to put an end, and I quote, if one really wants to put an end to the continued prospering of this curse from heaven, that is, the Jewish blood, there is only one way to do it, to eradicate this people, this Satan's son, root and branch. It was an appropriate thought for the day. This Christmas, and then I'm going to get into history of New Year's right quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. This is pretty weird for me because, I'm having some problems. It figures. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, minute 42 seconds. Why don't Jews believe in Jesus?
Why don't Jews believe in Jesus? The most famous of all Jewish-Christian debates was between the apostate Jew Pablo Cristiani and Moses Nachmanides in Barcelona, Spain, 1263 CE. Nachmanides argued that the central issue separating Christianity and Judaism was not the issue of Jesus' messiahship, but whether or not Jesus was divine. There was no basis in Judaism, Nachmanides said, for believing in the divinity of the Messiah, or indeed of any man. To Nachmanides, it seemed most strange that the creator of heaven and earth resorted to the womb of a certain Jewess, and grew there for 9 months, and was born as an infant, and afterwards grew up and was betrayed into the hands of his enemies, who sentenced him to death and executed him, and that afterwards he came to life and returned to his original place. For any person cannot tolerate this. Nachmanides told the Spanish monarch, "You have listened all your life to priests who have filled your brain and the marrow of your bones with this doctrine, and it has settled with you because of that accustomed habit." Had King James heard these ideas propounded for the first time when he was already an adult, Nachmanides implied, he never would have accepted them. For more, please visit simpletoremember.com.
Interesting. I find that just amazing. You know, like I said before, one of the worst things you could do as a Christian, because I was a Christian my entire life. I went to private Christian school my entire life. I was slated for the ministry. Read the Bible at least 10 times, back and forth, every scripture, from front to back. And the worst thing you can do as a Christian is question anything. They don't want you to question anything. They want you to take that critical thought that you inherently have and just throw it out the door and just accept everything on faith, and that's how it is. That's how cults are started in Christianity. And, you know, I'll even say Jewish. I'll even say Muslim, Mormonism, Jehovah's Witness, cults. Every single one of them. And the fact that you choose not to believe that, whenever all you have to do is just simply Google, what's a cult? What does it do? Every single one of those religions adhere to every single one of the stipulations to what a cult is. And it's hard to get people away from a cult. It's hard to get people away from Christianity. It was hard for me to accept it. But once I did, God, what a freeing moment. Oh, my God. Shouldn't have said that, though, huh? I can't really thank God. Well, I mean, you know, I could say shit like God damn and really not mean anything because I don't believe in him, so. I've done it forever. God, please forgive me. Oh. Well, I have a short little thing here about New Year's, the history of New Year's, where it came from, since they're so closely related. And, I'm going to see what you think about it. It's not very long. Should only take me a couple of minutes, and then we're going to end this. And we will probably be back online, more than likely. The next show is going to be at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. And unless I get some creative thing. But 9 o'clock on Tuesday. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and Sunday. 9 p.m., 4 days a week. 4 days a week, 9 p.m. we're on. You can tune in here live at any time, ask questions, do whatever you like to do, and I'll be more than happy to do that. Now, as far as anything else, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get a ton of emails on this, and you guys are telling me that I'm wrong. You're fucking wrong. Period. That's it. But if you want, you could drop me an email at atheistagenda@live.com. Send me all your emails, and we'll be getting our website up soon, so you can listen through there live. And we're really moving along. We have a lot of contributors, and we have a lot of people that listen to us, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you, including you Christians. Okay, I'm happy you're here, I guess. So, the history of New Year's. In 46 BC, the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar first established